Hello everyone. Today we can look at my experiment on experiment on investing on cryptocurrency is an high risk asset, and some investor they have appetite for high risk asset, and some of them low risk asset, and it's also good to diversify for some high risk asset and some low risk asset, because the high risk asset, it it's high risk, so you in finance we say high risk high reward, so the more risk is it, the more reward also. For example, for this Solana, and let's say 1 year, it's high risk because the price is so volatile. For this year went up from 247 to 60 and now come back to 77. So the price move a lot. That's why it's high risk asset. So if you buy it like 240 and now it dropped down to 77, you pretty much lost like one third of your money or one fourth of your money. But now if you buy right now and it went back up to the all-time high, then you will like quadruple your money or triple your money, something like that. So that's why the high risk asset, and it also high reward. So I start investing when it was 82, and I was invest like $32,000 for 400 share, and it went all the way to like 97, and I sold some at 96, and then it started coming down to $60, and now it was like came back up to 82, 83, and now it came down to $77 again. So in the position, we still lost about $1,500, and the money like from our gain 6,000. So we pretty much lost about $7,700. So, but this high risk asset is very volatile, so it might still the price might still come down to 70, under 70, to like 60 area. But my prediction for this month, it might be stay from 80 to 90 at the end of the month. And at the end of next month will be the same thing, 80 to 90. I don't think it go too much. And at the end of the year, 2026, it might stay about 80, 90 to 100. Maybe in the bull case go to 120, $120. But it depends on the Federal Reserve. If they cut the interest rate, I think that the price will go up a lot. But if not, it might stay. But however, if they increase interest rate, it might be come back to 60 also. So again, this is high risk asset, and it very risky. And also, you might also the gain is a lot too. The reward also good. And my experiment is for this one. I want to see at the end of the year how much do I gain or how much do I lose. And then the other experiment, I wonder like when it gonna go back to all-time high again. So if we see from this top to this top it take 3 years, but from this top to this top is only 1 year. So, and it seems like this year it might be stay, it might be take more than 1 year to come back up top, at least 2 years. So we gonna like we gonna do this together and we watch it together and see if it's gonna go back to all-time high, and see how long it take to go back up to all-time high together. And yeah, this one high risk asset, but today all the crypto and stock market doing really well because the report about inflation is cooling down. So it seems like everything is go really well. And yeah, the same thing right here. Ethereum also go up. Bitcoin also go up. And the market also go up. This one is PWK. This one, the ETS that have about 160, 160 company that doesn't like to leave what I say, doesn't like to leave free cash flow. When they have free cash flow, they usually use not all of it, but like some of it to buy to do the stock buyback. And when they do that, it make the stock going up. So, and the stock is very low movement. So today the movement is like 143 to 141 and come back to 142, about $1 or two. That's it. So this company very low risk. And also S&P 500 went up less than 1%, but it been down. It been down last week. So it's good news that everything in the green today. Dow Jones Industrial, Nasdaq Composite 100, gold. Gold today went up from 4,000 to 4,000. This on 4,022 to 4,035, and then come back to 4,042. So the movement is it's not that much. So pretty much just stay around 4,000. Look at 5 day, it went up to 4,100 and came back down. And now it going back up to 410. Now it 402. It go up, but it's just a little bit up, I think. Yeah, very little. And the oil price go up a lot. Like in the last 5 day, it was 74, came down to 71, and now $80. So yeah, because the Iran and like Trump, I think he closed the Strait of Hormuz again, so restrict the oil supply. That's why oil price is going up. So we'll see. We will continue to watch the oil price, and I don't think it go back to 120, because I think the ship, you like now they try to get the ship out. It have more ship coming out than the ship going back in. So they try to evade or try to avoid the Strait of Hormuz, and then they gonna get oil supply be somewhere else, especially from America, because we actually do a lot of fracking, and like I think Trump mentioned something we have like we produce oil more than everybody combined, I think. I'm not sure, but we definitely is like the most produced oil in the world right now. And one more thing, SpaceX today was went up from 338 to 142 and came back down to 136. So yeah, SpaceX it just came online, came as a public company about less than a month ago, I think, June 15, about a month now. And and like most people, I think like all the people that work there, they own the SpaceX stock. They not able to sell the stock until 6 months later. So I think around January or so, then they start sell. So when they able to sell, I think this the price should coming back down. And I'm waiting until it come down to 110, or something. And make sure it's in January or February too, when all the people that you know that they love to sell and start selling, then I may buy some because you want to buy from the bottom. We don't want to buy from the top. Most everyone, when SpaceX just coming up and everybody just buy and it went up to $211, $12. So and I knew that it's gonna coming down and it is coming back down. But like I believe in SpaceX because I think they have a lot of good stuff going on. The spaceship go to the moon, go to Mars, and they have like the biggest spaceship in the world right now. And I think when the spaceship, like working, the price of transportation, a kilo of satellite to the orbit, it's only cost like $200. It almost the same. You send something, like FedEx from American to Cambodia costs almost the same as like you send stuff around the world through like airplane. So I think they actually have that. So they have that, and then they have Starlink. I think the best satellite internet in the world right now. They really fast and they pretty much you everywhere in the world. Doesn't matter where you are, you still can access the Starlink satellite from SpaceX. And one last thing they do data center in space. And data in center in space it saw two problem. One is electricity because in space the sun shine 24/7, and also in space the temperature very cold. It almost zero carbon, so like almost absolute zero. So in space very cold. So those two things it really a problem in on Earth, but not really a problem in space. So that's why I'm really believing SpaceX, and but I had to wait until it come down a little bit, and then I can buy and just keep it until later on. Until it go up in value. And Elon Musk just mentioned SpaceX gonna worth more than like the whole earth. Yeah, he really ambitious. All right, let's look at finance news today. JP Morgan Chase reports record quarterly profit. JP Morgan Chase reported the highest quarterly profits ever recorded by US bank, driven by exceptional strong investment banking fee, equity trading, and deal making activity. The results suggest capital markets remain active despite geopol- geopol- geopolitical uncertainty. Major US banks kick off earnings session strongly. Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, Wells Fargo, Citigroup, and JP Morgan all reported earnings today. Goldman Sachs were among the stronger performers after better than expected trading revenue, while Wells Fargo and Citigroup faced more cautious investor reaction. The US inflation cool the US inflation cools more than expected. June CPI came in below economists' forecast. The softer inflation reading boosted technology stocks, technology stock and is the immediate concern about immediate Fed tightening. Markets rally after CPI report. After the inflation release, Nasdaq outperformed, S&P finished higher, and Dow Jones nearly flat. Technology share led the advance while healthcare lagged behind. 5. Federal Reserve Chair Kevin Voss testifies before the Congress today. Investor, investors closely watched Chair Voss' first congressional testimony. Markets interpreted his comments as supportive and keeping inflation under control while avoiding avoiding immediate changes to interest rates. Like Kevin Walsh he really has skill. Like his strategy usually like people increase interest rate to keep inflation down, but it seems like he his plan is to keep inflation down and interest rate unchanged. Or my goal like interest rate down too. That is like that you have to have some skill to do that. So yeah, Kevin Voss is it looked like it's a really good choice. Oil price remain elevated. Crude oil traded above $80 per barrel as tension between the US and Iran continue to disrupt shipping through Strait of Hormuz. Higher energy prices remain a key inflation risk. Global markets react to Middle East tensions. Asian and European markets traded lower amid concerns over higher oil prices and tighter monetary policy. So Asian and Europe, they worry about their central bank. They have gonna have tighter monetary policy. That means they're gonna increase interest rate. I want to reiterate again that Kevin was he gonna drop inflation without changing interest rate. So again, he is really skillful. Gold and Bitcoin edge higher. Safe haven demand lifted gold modestly. Yeah, gold actually went up a little bit, not that much. Bitcoin also gained as investors diversify amid geopolitical uncertainty. So usually, like when the geopolitical uncertainty, they usually go to the safe asset. But sometimes safe asset they have less return. That's why investor diversify safe, safe haven asset and then risk asset. So like they complement each other because high risk, high reward, low risk, low reward, but a lot safer. So they diversify, put some in safe haven asset and put some in risk asset. IBM share plunge after disappointing earnings. IBM dropped more than 20% after missing earnings expectations because several large enterprise deals were delayed. The decline weighed on parts of the technology sector even as broader markets advanced. 10. Mortgage rates remain elevated. Average US mortgage rates are still above 6.6% for a 30-year fixed loan. So I noticed that the last couple months, the 30-year interest rate is do not go above 6.7 and also do not go below 6.4. So it around that. So when it came down to about 6.5, 6.49 or something, and then it come back up. I feel like it came up and down. It like ping pong back and forth. That's what I noticed. Reflecting continued caution in interest rate environment despite today's softer inflation data. Market theme to watch tomorrow. Additional earning from major financial institutions. Any follow-up comments from Federal Reserve officials? Oil price movement related to the Middle East. Treasury yield reaction after CPI report. Whether today's technology-led rally continues through the week. All right, I think that is today, and thank you for watching. And again, I want to summarize the experiment. So we now today we yesterday we lost about 2,500. Now we lost only about 1,500 because the price went up, but we still down. Like our all-time high gain, it was 6,000, so we down almost 7,000. But this experiment again, we want to experiment at the end of the year 2026. If we gain anything, if we make any money, or do we, not make any money, but we might lose some money, and add the experiment, see how long it take gonna come back up to it's gonna come back up to the all-time high either this year or next year. All right, everyone. Thank you for watching, and I see you in the next episode. Bye bye.